Freedom Queen live. We're a little bit late today. I was wrapping up Icon call. Icon is one of those programs that is just like, I finished a call on day two, Icon day 2, and I had to go back and watch the call. It was so dang good. I was like, this is incredible. This is blowing my own mind. I need to go back and watch the training over and over again. Do you ever just do a training where you're like, my own training was so good, I need to go back and study my own material? That's how I felt. Good morning. Jump from Icon to be here. Caroline is here. Maggie was just on Icon with me. I know we're a little bit late, so some people might have already came on, and we might not see them this week, but I'm always committed to Freedom Queen Live. I'm like, hello, I am here. I'm so excited to be here with you all. Put some wins that you have in the chat. What are some wins? I would love to know, like, let's just celebrate the crap out of you right now. What are some wins that you have? Put them in the chat. I would love to know. I'm going to get us pulled up in all the places so that we're live everywhere. I would love to know what are some of your wins that you have going on before I go into a mini training. I am thriving, Carolina says. Amazing. I'm so glad to hear that. So I'm going to do a little bit of storytelling and then see how you guys are this week. I would love to know where you're at, and then we're going to close out today. So today will be like a little potent, hey, what's going on? Checking in on you, Freedom Queen Live, pulse check where you're at, and then I'll see you next week. So last week, my brother called me and it was Sunday, and he's like, Mom's birthday next weekend. I'm thinking about surprising her. Do you want to come? And I'm like, yes, I was thinking the same thing. Oh, let's do it. So we book our flights that day. And on Sunday, when we booked our flights, I was sitting with Robbie and I was like, I cannot even believe that we live a life where on a whim, we can just go and say, hey, let's fly to Florida from Mexico, where we're at right now. Now, of course, being in Mexico, we are way closer than we were in Thailand, and I wouldn't have flown across the world if I was if I was in Thailand. But because we were in Mexico, we're like, that's so close, let's just go. And so we on Friday arrived in Florida, and my parents live in like Southwest Florida in this area where it's like a lot of drinking, bars, things like that. We go to this local bar. We surprise my parents there, Robbie and I. My mom's just like, she's like double taking. She's like, I can't even, she's like, you're here? What? This is so insane. We have an amazing night with them. The next day, my mom and I go to a Zumba class in the morning. She loves Zumba. And I'm in this like Southwest Florida, a lot of people are retired community, and everyone's like in Zumba. And I have like my degree in dance, and I'm just like, this is the best thing ever. I'm having the time of my life with my mom. I go to Zumba, we come home. My mom is one of those people that just has like 1,000,001 friends. Like anyone can go up to her, and all of a sudden she's BFFs with them. And so Saturday night we had a big party at this bar, and they played like Motown old school music. It was awesome, this band. And of course, my mom knows the entire band, and everyone's singing happy birthday to her. And Robbie and I are on the dance floor having fun with my parents. It's just so much fun. And Saturday night, my brother flew in from Colorado, and we were all swimming in the pool. My brother, I'm like texting him to sneak in through the garage. He comes in through the garage in his bathing suit. He's like, I'm here for the pool party. And my mom's just crying. We spend Saturday night like playing games. Sunday all day long, we're in the pool playing this game that we used to play as a kid called Zookeeper, where my mom is the zookeeper and we all pretend we're animals. It's like basically tag in the pool and you have to go to jail, which is the stairs into the pool. Having the time of our life. I was totally my 12-year-old self again. We played this game where we all had to hold onto a towel, and if you didn't know the lyrics to the song, you fell in the pool, which I learned a lot about myself of I don't actually know lyrics to any songs. So that was fun. And then we played card games on Sunday night, and then Robbie and I left yesterday morning. And through that experience, one of the things that of course, you guys know, I extract all the lessons from life. something that I really pulled out of this weekend was freedom can be different for you. Freedom can be different for me. Freedom can be different for Maggie, for Carolina, for whoever. It doesn't have to be a one size fits all. And so there are times in my business where I'm flying business class, first class around the world. I'm doing really luxury things. You know, I'm staying in really cool villas like I am right now. But then there are also times when I'm in my pajamas in Florida, rolling around on the floor with my pit bull dog, with my parents, and playing card games with my family. And both of those things are freedom to me. Freedom to me is being able to go and live a luxury life, but also chilling in my sweatpants if I want to do that, in my boyfriend's clothes. Freedom to me is being able to decide how I want to live my life, whether that's flying private jets or living on a homestead. That is why I do this business. I think it's very easy for people to get caught up in, well, how are other people running their own empires, their own communities, their own movements? And think, I want that. But can you in your own life be like, this is actually what makes me fulfilled. This is what makes me feel alive. This is what makes me feel awake. This is what I want to be doing. Not based on what other people are doing, but what you want to be doing. And so when I speak to you inside of Freedom Queen is all about you having full authority and control on what you want to do in your life. Freedom to be able to decide where you want to live. Freedom to be able to charge what it is that you want to be charging, to sell what you want to be selling. This is why freedom has been one of the main pillars inside of my business since day one. When you lead with freedom of what you want to do, as a byproduct, more money will come in. We get trapped and we put ourselves in boxes when we try to claim someone else's freedom. It is a waste of time to try and live someone else's life. Because I can guarantee that you wouldn't even want their life if you had it. You were given the life that you have today for a reason. You are creating your own life for a reason. And so because it's midway through the year, something I always do middle of year is I always look back on, hey, Nikki, hey, Jana, I always look back on what is it that Bridget James Lang wants for the rest of 2023. So if you're with me live or you're watching the replay, put it in the comments, put it in the chat. What is it that you want and desire for the rest of 2023? What does that freedom look like for you? What is it for the rest of 2023? You're like, yep, you know what? It's time to envision this. It's time to go bigger here. It's time to launch that program, launch that event, launch this new pillar in your brand. Work with that person, be in that program, move to that country, start your farm. What is it? Hey, Samantha. Hi, happy to be here. Thanks for saying hello. I want more connection, like friendship. Jana, that was one of my things for 2023. I said, I want friends. I want entrepreneur friends around the world. Freedom to pick up, hey, Lena, freedom to pick up and go wherever I want. Yes. In-person connection, authenticity, Samantha says. Sometimes for me, freedom can look very tangible. Like it could be like, I want like something that Robbie and I are working towards is figuring out where we want to buy a house somewhere or have property somewhere around the world. Sometimes it's very tangible like that. And then sometimes it's a feeling. It's like, I want to feel like this. I want to feel like in love. I want to feel alive despite what's going on. launch. I'm going to launch something, magnetic clients. Yes, especially, I know you, Freedom Queen, and you're building something incredible, especially for the rest of 2023. Really think about who are the clients that you are attracting? Who are the people that you want to be working with? Like for me, I see a lot of people going, I think this is the next level season. And I feel like I'm always saying that, but it's true. And something about this summer feels really powerful of like, it's a next level season for a lot of people. It's a lot of like clearing space and making space for the planes to land. I want that too. Who wants to be friends here? Haha. Yes, connection always. Like, I want you to get so specific in what it is that you want to create for the rest of this year. What does that freedom feel like? Hi, Olivia. What does that freedom feel like? What does it look like? I know that for me, it's next level energy within all of my communities. It's a rise effect in everything, in the membership, in the headquarters, in mastermind, in private coaching. It's like everyone goes like, we've risen. I want to experience like the fullness of life. Dream clients, ease of flow, simple luxury. Jonathan, do you have a free community where we can connect with each other? Yes, the Facebook group, our Facebook group. I'll put it in the chat here. You guys aren't inside of the Facebook group. So on this topic of freedom, I see there's 18 people watching right now. Hello, everyone. Are there any questions or anything that you would like me to riff on specifically on the topic and the pillar of freedom? Is there anything inside of there that you would like me to bring up or dive into more? Because this conversation has come up a lot in the last week of like people just realizing like, I don't want to have freedom like what that other person has. Freedom to them looks like this, but freedom to me, it looks like this. And I'll tell you, like, that has always been my superpower of I don't care what other people are doing. I don't care how other people are, what their freedom looks like. I'm like, this is what I want it to look like for me. And then that to me, that queen piece of Freedom Queen has always been being able to build an incredible community where you're leading people. You're a queen. A queen to me leads her people and leads herself. She's always looking for ways to give back and be out in the field with her people and help everything come together. Be out in the town like, hey, how can we improve? How can we make everything a better experience for everyone? Okay, I see Nikki has a riff. And Samantha says, freedom for me means stepping away from scarcity mindset, not allowing that to take up space and not giving it power. Yes, okay. Nikki says, talk about getting started, this spark to just go, go, go. Okay, so talk about getting started. Okay, in the beginning, I think it's a lot easier to go than it is when you're like in the middle. It's a lot easier when you're at the bottom of the mountain and the top of the mountain to find the motivation or the power to move than when you're in the middle. Because in the beginning, it's like you have all these big goals. Like you're just like, you know where you want to be going. Okay, you have the vision. And then at the mountain peak, when you hit the milestone, whatever it is in life, you're like, I did it. Okay, now I'm going to make the next thing. I actually find that the hardest places to keep moving is in the middle, when you're continuing to take action over and over again. You're continuing to show up for yourself. You're continuing to move. You're continuing to build the business. And maybe it's like, you're just knocking on the door, but the door actually hasn't actually opened. Have you ever heard, like, it's like that story when the guy's like gold mining and he's like looking for the gold and he keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and gives up, but he doesn't even realize that he was like 1 foot away from the gold itself? That's not the actual story, but you get the point here. Often we become obsessed with the mountain peaks instead of becoming obsessed with putting 1 foot in front of the other. For example, the other day I was working out with my trainer, and in the middle of the set, we were doing abs. And I said to her, how many more sit-ups do I have? And I caught something. I noticed this about my mindset. I said, how many more sit-ups do we have? And I realized that was the wrong question to be asking. Because what I was doing is I was looking for an end destination. I thought to myself, when I finish the sit-ups, I will be happy. And I noticed this about myself. And I said, you know what, Bridget? Internally, I said this. You're going to enjoy the journey of these sit-ups. And so I'm sitting there, I have my feet up on this ledge, and I said to myself, you're going to enjoy the journey. And so instead, I peeled my head up, went down through my spine and felt every piece of my abdomen moving and coming together as it picked me up off of the ground. And I breathed out and breathed in, this same thing in reverse, putting my spine back on the floor all the way until my head was extended straight, breathing in. And again. And instead of falling in love with, let me finish the 15 sit-ups, I instead fell in love with each moment. The pain that I felt, well, not really pain, but like the constraint I felt in my abdomen. I connect it to the breath work. The breath, like the breathing out and in, extending all the way. The feeling when I wanted to use my arms to get momentum to peel myself up, and instead I kept my elbows back, coming up. And this allowed me to be someone, keywords, be someone who was strong, who could enjoy the journey rather than saying, I will be happy when I get to the end destination. I'll be happy when I get here. Put a yes in the chat if that analogy supported you. Put a yes in the chat if you're like, yes, I get this. This is so much more about me being in love with the journey, the game. The reason why my business has always grown the way it grows is because I love the game. I love the journey. I love it. I love each level. I love all of the new devils that come up. I love all of the challenges that happen. I love peeling off each vertebrae. I love it. I love the intensity in my abdomen as I'm peeling myself off. I love that. I'm about to apply for this award. This is funny. This is going to help some of you too. You'll have to let me know when this lands. I'm about to apply for this award for hitting $1 million cash. And I said to my boyfriend the other day, I was like, I don't even really want to submit this award. Because 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, when I started my business, I remember saying, oh my God, $1 million cash. Like that's just a dream. And I had this vision of what it would feel like when I hit $1 million cash. And I thought it would feel like, and it didn't. And I said to him, I don't even really want to submit this award. I'm not even that excited about it anymore, because it was never about hitting the award, but about who I became along the way. And I'm already her. It was about like the challenges, the defeat, the failure, the moments of winning, the success, the times like when I wanted to give up and I didn't. That's what I'm actually obsessed with. My manifestations, I'll tell you this, my manifestations never happen, and they never happen when I'm like, yeah, what's happening? They always happen when it makes sense. It's normalized. Some of your manifestations might not be happening is because you put them so far on a pedestal. They're so high up that it feels so out of reach. And one of the first things I start to do when I'm manifesting another level is I normalize it in my everyday life. I normalize the number, the feeling, all those things that you put in the chat about what you want to do with the rest of 2023. Start normalizing them now. Make them be something that is a part of your everyday life. Oh, it's just normal. Oh, that's just what I do. Just like I brush my teeth every day, I also do this. Because when the manifestation hits, and most times for me, it never feels like this crazy orgasmic, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, because I've normalized it. It makes sense that it's happening. And so the way that I normalize this is, number one, I like to really focus on patterning. I have this program called Move and Manifest, a certification program, and I focus a lot on patterning it into my life. And so one of the things I'll do is I'll just tell myself like, oh, I make 200K a month. I make 200K a month. I make 200K a month when I'm posting on social media. I make 200K a month when I'm talking to you. I make 200K a month when I'm drinking out of my coffee mug. I just do it. I make 200K a month when I'm walking. Like I just start to program that into my life. That's number one. Two, I start to get around people that are actually normalizing this number. And I'm very aware. I just start to pay attention. This is why, like, coming to Freedom Queen Live, being in our membership, being in the headquarters, the mastermind, whatever. It's like, I used to think that people say you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with to get you to buy their thing. No, it is 100% correct. Through osmosis, through like the mirror effect, by you being around people that have already normalized that thing that you desire, it's going to start to happen to you. The more that you're consuming that, we're like sponges, the more that you're going to become that person. And so I make my life be a reflection of the reality that I desire. And so if there are certain habits or things that I have in my life that I'm like, well, my ex self wouldn't be doing that, I'm going to take that habit out. I'm going to take that mirror away and replace it with a mirror that actually reflects the desire that I want. Boom. Right there. So this is one of my favorite Freedom Queen lives. So I want you to think about this as we're moving into the rest of 2023. Number one, what does freedom look like? I'm going to wrap us up here. What does freedom look like for you for the rest of 2023? And actually, I want you to post it. I don't usually do this, but I want you to post it inside of our free Facebook group. Many of you are already in our Facebook group, so you should just go right there to join it. I want you to post about it inside of our free Facebook group. What does freedom look like for you for the rest of 2023? And I want you to start to normalize this. What does this feel like in your body? What would you be saying to yourself? How would you be showing up? Brushing your teeth, having this level of freedom. You're going to bed with that, like, what does it feel like in your body when you're going to bed having that X amount of freedom? Start to normalize it in your life. Freedom Queen, I love you so much. Never forget who you are. Don't forget that every single Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we have Freedom Queen Live right here, same time, same space every week on our YouTube channel. This week we didn't have it because I was at my parents' house in Florida yesterday. But we will be back on Mondays at 11 a.m. Eastern, so make sure that you're here on the YouTube channel. And I want you to go post what it is that your freedom life looks like for the rest of 2023 inside of our Facebook group. And I'm going to go in. I have a couple of things coming up today after this live that I'm going to get to. But then this afternoon, I'm going to go back in the Facebook group and respond and see what you guys put inside of there for your freedom for the rest of 2023. Jamie says, thank you so much. This is magical. Oh, Jamie, I'm so glad you were here. So glad you were here. Okay, my freedom queens. Go create your freedom queen life. Go reign. Go create an incredible community. Go create the life that you actually desire. You actually desire. All right, I'm gonna look out for your posts in the Facebook group. I will be commenting this afternoon, and I'll see you next Monday, same time, same place, Freedom Queen Live, Mondays, 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay.